There is going to be a big distress that is going to come into Asia. A big disease, distress of disease is coming. The Lord took me into a hospital. There's a very big distress there. You see a lot of people swarming into the hospital. I see the lack of equipment now. There is no equipment. The doctors are running up and down, and many people flooding into the hospital. And I see a lot of people rushing into the hospital, being rushed. There's the procedure being done on somebody, and then there is testing. So somebody told me, well, he makes one of the doctors there to speak with me, and he says, we don't have equipment. What we do, we take this, and we take a little and put on the culture to see. So there is going to be a big distress that is going to come into Asia. A big disease, distress of disease is coming, a disease emergency in Asia.
CNN Breaking News.
Officials in China are dealing with a major health crisis at the worst possible time of year. With at least 7 major cities under a travel ban, officials have suspended public transport, outgoing flights have been cancelled and train services shut down, leaving more than 20 million people going nowhere.
We have a new name for the coronavirus. The World Health Organization has officially called it COVID-19. Co for corona, Vi for virus, D for disease, and 19 because it started last year.
We begin with the latest on the coronavirus outbreak. As of this morning, the total number of deaths in China surpassed the 1,500 mark, with the number of confirmed infections now exceeding 66,000. China's National Health Commission said that as of midnight Friday, nearly 140 additional deaths have been reported from Hubei province, the epicenter of the outbreak, most of them from Wuhan. Meanwhile, over in Japan, where a cruise ship has been quarantined since arriving in Yokohama on February 3rd, at least 218 people have tested positive for the virus, among some 3,500 passengers and crew who were on board. The latest figure brings the total number of infected people in Japan to 259, the highest number next to China.
This morning, the evacuation of that cruise ship holding more than 3,600 people on quarantine began with a trickle.
To start this process, 11 guests have chosen to be disembarked.
The captain announcing 11 people chose to leave. The first wave tested are passengers over 80 years old, as well as people with pre-existing conditions.
I don't know how they're going to get through all these test results very quickly.
Passengers have been on board for more than 25 days and under quarantine for 9. Officials finding more than 200 cases of the virus on board. Back in the U.S., a 15th confirmed case, this time in San Antonio, Texas.
Fox News alert now, over 64,000 coronavirus cases now confirmed all around the world. China revealing more than 1,700 of its medical workers have been infected with that disease.
5 million people were allowed to leave Wuhan, the epicenter, despite consistent warnings from Chinese scientists.
For every single person who is affected, it seems as if there's going to be up to 3 or maybe 4 other persons who could also be affected. So if you take 6,000, maybe there's probably at least another 20 or 30,000 people that are out there. And these are very conservative estimates because the numbers are likely to be much more exponential than that.
The 2019 novel coronavirus is very unusual because it seems to spread much easier between both of us, between individuals. Simply coming close or talking, we may actually spread the infection. But 2019 novel coronavirus is different. You can actually find the virus in people who have no symptoms, and it's postulated by the Minister of Health in China himself that these asymptomatic individuals can spread person to person. And we don't even need to wait till the 7 days before symptoms onset. Disease may spread even before the onset of illness. This allows the virus to propagate very quickly across large swaths of area, many people.
The epicenter of the outbreak, that's Hubei province, reported a sharp increase in new cases. Tens of millions of Chinese are running out of food and patience. 80 cities have been in lockdown for a month, leaving everyone trapped at home. As Katrina Yu now reports.
The vast majority of confirmed coronavirus cases, more than 50,000, are in Hubei province. Patients have been sharing videos on social media of life inside makeshift hospitals and quarantine centers. At least 1,700 medical staff are among the infected. Elsewhere in China, people aren't taking any chances.